Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same without wasting a single second of your time. Bada bing, bada boom, we go. Into the charts, that is. So we got a massive move to the upside yesterday, and then it was kind of interesting to see this play out yesterday on our indicators. We were talking about a potential nuke up in this region, and then it just was like we were watching the nukes appear, and boom, it just dropped to the downside to where we settled for the evening. Now we're looking for possibly a retrace into the fair value gap region. We're adjusting the levels as we go. We'll see how it holds as we start to see what's going on in the charts. As we are currently in the session, Delta is break even for the session, so we're just pinging liquidity both ways. We had a news play, some FOMC minutes that spiked out both sides, and we're now starting to drift up higher. Where are we drifting, do you say? Well, from this impulse to the downside after the nukes that appeared here on our indicator, we dropped down here and we are retracing back up to that 706 region, potentially getting a rejection. If we go up to the 786 and reject, we could possibly come into some of these fair value gaps down below and still even continue to the upside. Anything is possible. Let's mark off our hour of power. 30 minutes after the open, we got 20 minutes for the open, basically chilling like a villain, trying to see what's going on in the charts. We got some more fair value gaps down here that we could come back to as well. We'd have to break the structure of what we've been coming for this liquidity grab to the upside. We also have some fair value gaps at 402, which we have yet to reclaim. If we go to a larger time frame chart, you can see where it is I'm looking at this idea. There's a fair value gap in this range here, these candles to the downside here. This is a previous week's high. That's why we have it marked off at 455. So we could come all the way up to the 455 region, and I would not be surprised we came thus far. Kind of delete yesterday's open, that is in the past, and we're seeing this nice little drive to the upside. We're getting this previous 786 bounce. Are we going to get a 786 rejection here on these little mini plays here? Let's go ahead and take a look at the footprint charts and throw on our momentum here. We try not to keep the narrative bias too strong or lay it on too thick, because we don't know where it's going ultimately, and we don't want to get trapped into a thought process. So we just go with the flow. Right now, session Delta break even, not really indicating anything at this point. Kind of reaching into the highs, equal highs and low Delta here. So you're getting some bearish divergence on the Delta. So you could be putting in some lows here as you reject off that 706 region. Value area high for the session at 325. Point of control down at 295. We previously came down to the VWAP and the point of control and bounced off it during that news play, which we were not there for. So we'll see what's going on as the night unfolds. Let's just leave ourselves open and coachable to what is going on inside the candles and inside the charts. Time to turn on the momentum. turning on our heads up display now. Link in the description for more. You can see what everything looks like with toggleable options here, most notably the trend cloud and the baselines for the scalping strategy we implement. Stochastic array, like the nukes yesterday which played out, is something that is worth taking a gander over. The boom that played out, time stamped in eternity. So let's just see where it leads us, shall we? Indicator on. Let's go ahead and put it on nicely here and get out of that mode. And we're starting to get a cross down of the 4-hour time frame baselines, and when the baselines cross in your favor, you can take them for whatever side you want. There are, of course, indecision points, but when they do play out, they do eventually give you some juice to that direction. Let's go see what the lower time frames are looking at. Hourly time frame crossing down here, looking to cross up on this hourly cross up, though could easily just come back and cross back down again. That bearish divergence looking to play out perhaps as it comes down into the 236. The 236 for the bearish trend base fib entry model. What do I mean by that? Well, you have this A wave to the downside, a retrace to the upside, and potential continuation to the downside. So if you break this 236 with a passion at the 316 level, the cloud is holding, though. We don't trade against the clouds generally, and the cloud is still holding, however slight, not thickening up in position, but you're getting a bounce off that channel average and the 236. So we need some conviction to that idea. Getting this 15-minute cross down event here and coming beneath the trend dots, where we're going to stay out of the chop today. We'll wait for a more A+ entry and do our due diligence today for that entry model. Let's go take a look at the news for today to make sure we're not missing anything. We had the FOMC Waller speaking. It's an orange folder, so this is at 11:15. If you don't know about this website, you can go to Forex Factory and check it out. So we got this 15 minutes into the hour of power here, so we could get some little statements about the sad news happening across the globe, and that effect on the market could be known here after they hunted a bunch of shorts multiple times. Shallow M pattern to the downside, perhaps, who knows. We do have those 7 time frames overbought. We had the previous nuke up here that it flashed itself for a brief moment in time. And here we go. 13 minutes until the open. Starting to see this insinuation on the cloud of continued downside here. This is what we like to see, where the cloud is something we like to trade with. When the price action is on our side with the cloud, we don't go against that. That was kind of what our insinuation for that move to the upside yesterday was about. We were seeing the cloud hold going into the open, and this was the idea that we took yesterday. We were seeing the 30-second, the 1 minute, and the 4-minute hold the cloud, and we were like, hold up, why are we looking for a short here? We're trading against our own system. Let's just go with the flow, go with the momentum, and then we took it for that 170+ tick upside play. So let's see if we can do it again today, shall we? What's up, David? Let's see what's up in the YouTube chat land. Boop, 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 boop. Make sure the volume is okay. There's been times where people messaged me because my volume was not right. Let's make sure it is okay. Howdy. What's up, Rainier? What's up, everyone that's in the chat today. Okay, so let's start to go into the microcosm of the entry models we look at. 30 second, 1 minute, all that fun stuff. Here we go. Going deep into the weeds here. Let's see. Boom, boom. Starting to reject off the 30-second cloud, which is already kind of hinting at downside from this bearish retest and thinning on the 30-second. The 1 minute now just getting that bearish retest kiss idea, because it's rude to pass by the cloud without giving it a hello kiss. Hello and goodbye. Possibly speaking. If we do this to the 4 minute, let's see how the indecision on the 4 minute is looking. We're getting a potential cross down and rejection of the cloud after some manipulation, liquidity grab, news play, boom boom to both sides. Now starting to see the potential of downside continuing here, diamond top type idea. Let's see what's going on. You had hidden bullish divergence going into that, which surged it up. Let's go see what else we can see in the charts. Time to go into the ATOS here and see what's in the footprint. Now currently triggering some sell side. We have about cumulatively 179 contracts of sell side imbalance here for the session. We had previously 200 contracts taken with that drop down, boom. 257 at that point, and then we brought in 157 more buys for a potential continuation dollar cost average. Little mini ABC to the downside idea. So this could be coming like this, A, B, C, within that, kissing the cloud here and continuing further down. Still just getting in the groove here. Shout out to everyone here. Nine minutes. Once again, this white line is the 236 for that bearish entry model. It's not a coincidence we bounced off it, so we could be coming below. You want to look for that acceleration beneath it if you're in the short. So this is about as big of a time frame we need for what we're trying to catch here, the 4 minute, and you can see which pools we wicked back into. Surprisingly, BTC went to the zone that we were looking at here. We were talking about potentially continuing to the downside. We got that after the live. We were about here. We were saying we were only seeing more downside. We got it. It came to the pools we were looking at and then some. And are we going to continue further down? Well, Nasdaq got a little bit of a push up. Bitcoin just got a retrace back up into the pools. So Bitcoin could continue further down as the baselines go for that divergence play, perhaps. Just putting that out there. If we look at the dollar, dollar also taking a tumble, so you're getting risk on assets also bleeding out while the dollar is bleeding out. Perhaps banks and other players aren't trying to keep their profits on the table with all the world events going on. Perhaps this, even if the dollar's resetting here, they might be taking some hit. But as the dollar drops, generally the risk on assets take a little bit of a bounce. So we'll see how that operates. Oops. Very well, okay. We're going to just remove this so we can stay free from one track thinking. We already have those ideas in our head Don't need them constantly staring us in the face in a one directional way. All right. And it's the 4 minute. 6 minutes till we open. Wow, got quiet all of a sudden. Let's have a sip of coffee. We got our pomegranate water and coffee at the ready. Stay alkaline with some water after drinking some acidic coffee. We replenished our mint supply too. So we got some nice little caffeinated mints. Starting to get the cross up on the 1 minute here. We had that bearish retest idea, but holding the 236 here, so we're not doing anything right now, just observing. Getting money stack on the 1 minute. Is it a continued rejection off this 30-second cloud, which shows no signs of abating here at 4 o'clock. The 1 minute cloud also turning purple. 4 minute cloud also turning purple on that manipulation grab, liquidity grab, boom. What was the previous session delta, I wonder, before they did that? I'm curious. Before they did that liquidity grab, what was the session at? So it looks like before they dropped it, they were a positive session delta to 600 contracts, and then they went down and they created more buy side and even increased it to 940. And then up here they took 230 off, so that was a straight manipulation where somebody bought 255 down here and cashed out right up there and just was like, don't mind me, liquidity grab. And then we're back to where we started before the liquidity grab. It's kind of interesting. 230 contracts is a lot of dinero to just instantly take like that in 1 minute. Session delta back at break even. Could go either way. Bing, bing. And we have less than 3 minutes, 2 minutes almost. Cloud on the 30 seconds starting to potentially shift here. 1 minute angle tapering, not really giving that downside angle just yet. We're gonna have some wick wackiness. We're gonna stay back from this. We're gonna hold our horses because we got too quick last time and got lost in the sauce before the big move. We caught the big move, but not before having 2 losses prior. So we want to just chill and see if we can catch the smooth grab of liquidity here. Today's Wednesday. There was a bank holiday on Monday. I'm unsure what that was about, but the bank holiday sets the week in a state of disproportionate moves, but we did see a move to the upside on Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. So we've seen this continuation from Monday to Tuesday complementing one another. So are we going to get a continuation on Wednesday as well for a 3-4 day continuation to the upside from Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday? Or are we going to get a slight retrace on a Wednesday because the banks were closed on Monday? It's a little bit irregular in the banking schemata of things, so there might be a non-complementary Wednesday day today. We'll see. Generally, Tuesday and Wednesday complement each other, and Thursday is the midweek reversal, and Friday is the run for profit. So we'll see how it goes. Yo, Smurf! Nice to see ya. And we're open. Bounce off the cloud right off the bat. You're going to do that cloud bounce right off the open, like bing, as it thins there on the 32nd. Just like an immediate cloud thinning bounce. Let's go just see what that retrace level is on this sub 1 minute. This was a equilibrium or a pocket bounce. That was a 0.66 bounce out of there. For those little micro time frame players. Whoops. Engineering 500 contracts a buy side here, stopping out shorts that entered. Now 600 buy side. Coming back to the 706 retracement level. Possibly coming up to the 786 at 355. Looks like it's going back to it. Let's go see the contracts. Got a bunch of sell side peeling off and or inducing here. So we need to see some sort of break of that bearish structure if they will be bearish. We're coming into the 786 now from the impulse up. Looks like we're completely negating it and going for higher highs, chewing through it like butter. So I wouldn't be taking this. That's why I don't put limit orders. I watch it for the reaction and take it after the fact, and generally waiting for 886 level here, almost completely negating the impulse and going for higher highs here. I have to move my chart now, resize it. Now 800 contracts in buy side. Let's go into the Renko charts just to reduce some noise real quick and see what's going on. So the king time frame is neutral. We had a impulse, retrace, continuation, bounce off of the SMA here, and possibly coming up to the pivot high at 383 and coming to relieve some of that liquidity. We have induced pools down below here to come back to as well. These are all untouched zones all the way down to 240. One of the beautiful things about the Renko charts is I don't need to draw the zones for the order blocks because it tells you where the untouched price pools are. It's a noise reduction system, but not a very accurate entry model system, if I do say so myself. It does give you a little bit of fuzziness on that, so that's why we look at our momentum master for the entry. And you're currently having the super trend in your favor here, so until you invert that, you're bullish on the 16 bar here. We've been holding the 200 SMA on that as well. Let's go back here, back to the future. Not my cup of tea to short green candles like that, but that might be exactly the plan they have so that they don't have as many shorts in the proper move. One of the cool things about Optima is when you come up to that overbought region, you could almost put, you know, a contract or two on just that idea of reaching into that overbought status. Ideally, you want to wait for some bearish divergence for the more viable play, but it kind of works when you get up into those regions of overbought on the multiple time frame oscillator here for Optima. Let's see. 1,000 buy side imbalance here as we go tear into the shorts again with a Shoryuken uppercut to the face. PVSRA has 2 vector candles in the last 8 minutes entering here. MACD potentially coming up into the stochastic zone, domain, whatever you want to call it. Let's go see what the 8 bar looks like. We're going to hide the ATAS real quick. So the 8 bar, you had this kind of indecision above and beneath the SMA. This is where it gets fuzzy, because do you short that or long that SMA? Like, there's times where the SMA is spot on and other times where it's fuzzy for your entry. Was a decent entry zone for the 16 bar. So the cloud on my oscillators does not let me down. The cloud does not let me down. That is for sure. And that's one thing the Renko taught me, is to trust in the cloud. In cloud we trust. And just off the open, you just bounce right off that cloud. You know, who's going to take the straight open play? This is one of those clean opens. Yesterday was super choppy, and today, ironically, is super clean right off the open. Boom. Upside. Did anyone take that? Smurf. The opt-in is probably the best divergence indicator I have used. Thank you. It looks very simple, but there's a lot going on under the hood, I assure you. You know, there's 5 time frames of information: RSI, money flow, another money flow, Chaikin money flow, dead entry with WADA and Bollinger Band divergence and all that fun stuff. A lot. I wish it was like adjustable, automatic to finding the other assets. Like, I think it works. This zone, the dead entry thing doesn't really work with the multiple time frames on other assets as well. You have to kind of adjust the sensitivity. I was toying with the sensitivity on other assets down here, increasing it to 300 and stuff like that. So you'd have to find out the sensitivity on other assets. Nasdaq seems to be at 120 is good. For me anyway. Seeing the money fly away, fly away. So we came back into we broke this impulse. The 886 has been negated. We basically came back all the way to the 1, most likely to that high. If we go to the Renko, it will reduce the noise and show us that pivot zone. So they came up and took out this whole pool here. Came to the high, double topped the pivot high level at 83. So I don't need to zoom out of my entry model for Momentum Master. That's one of the beautiful things of this too, is I can see the bigger picture without having to go out of the zoom in, the quantum level that I'm at here, because it will take me out of that I can switch between zoned in states. So I can have the bigger time frame I can refer back to for levels. And the levels automatically draw. So this is one of the cool things. It shows all these pools. It shows the settlement line from yesterday at 270. I would not be surprised if we come back to 270. Not at all. We're starting to come back on my friend's oscillator here. 2,000 contracts in buy-side imbalance for the session. Mighty large amount so far. As they eat, gobble up the shorts.
Fatality.
And the 30-second has crossed down here, and you're fading on the trend dots and possibly crossing down on the 1 minute. Do you want to short this big move to the upside? You're starting to get bearish divergence on the oscillator on the 30-second and the 1 minute as well. Do you take this or not? Looks like it played out. Boom. And they're just taking it all back. Let's go see what the contracts brought in store. They took back 1,000 contracts there. 560 sell side reclaimed, 214 in the previous candle down here, and they're just going slurping up the shorts, reclaiming the super trend on the 30-second and the cloud kiss on this 30-second too. They were like, oh, pardon me, we forgot to say hello. And they gave it a little kiss on the 1 minute too. Coming back above the trend dot as if nothing happened. Taking out those, inducing some shorts and or gobbling up the late longers, the top longers up here, the 144, 521, and 693 buy side that entered here. They were just making sure if they're long that they're no longer long. Possibly induced some more buys. Let's go deeper into this. So there was 174 buys here, 69 at the top, and they're coming back in to confirm and break potentially this cloud. Second kiss immediately thereafter. Indecision in 2 minutes on this 4 minute that could lead to a reversal. Cross down on the 1 minute confirmed. That bearish divergence had you at hello at the overbought region. Boom. Very clean. So far price action has been pretty clean since the open. You had that opening bounce off the cloud into a bearish divergence, immediately retracing back to the cloud. No real like games like yesterday. Yesterday was a lot of choppy games, chop suey. Had I been my aggressive entry yesterday, today I would have been pretty rewarded handsomely off the open, but now I'm sitting out on the open as they do some cleaner price action. 1 minute for the four minute candle close, and it's currently at indecision point. You could have had this C wave to the upside and start to see some retracement here. Our theory about going lower after making a stab up, we did reclaim some of the highs. Liquidity pool, we could go up to this fair value gap at 402, make an extended M and create some bearish divergence and then drop. We'll wait for a little bit more of a confirmation. I'm not going to be so jumping the gun real quick here. We got money flying away on the 1 minute. Started to abate on the 30-second here. Chat disconnected, successfully connected. Weird. What happened with my chat? That's weird. Starting to break, and the angle here on the 30-second is interesting. So if you break it and come back and bearishly retest for that B wave, then you could possibly enter on that idea. breaking beneath that 1 minute cloud. Let's zoom in on that really quick. So we got that bounce off that fibs level, so we're just deleting that one because that was so minuscule of a microstructure there. So you had that indecision on the 4 minute that closed in that minute time frame that we talked about, and then now you're starting to get a bear hammer down from that 4 minute idea. It's been fairly straightforward today, just not taking anything just yet. What's up, CNC? Welcome, welcome. As always, thank you very much. Coming back to the adaptive moving average on the 30-second. Not a level I generally play for a bounce. Let's go see what the contracts are saying. So you got still 600 buy side to take. The point of control down at 330, VWAP at 324. The adaptive moving average is kind of like a tighter VWAP that sometimes has a reaction. A less Let's just do our own due diligence and do a retracement on this tool, on this impulse here. We're right at the 706 region now. Could be getting a golden pocket bounce off of the math here, so that's why the adaptive is here as well. Kind of a interesting pocket, golden pocket bounce. We had a golden pocket bounce yesterday for some massive upside. This could just give you that bearish retest and continue lower though. Cloud is starting to thin on the 30-second here, and you did break beneath the 1 minute. Let's go see what the contracts are saying again. 112 buy side induced in this current candle. 267 in sell side taken in the previous 2 minutes. Still positive on the session. 600 contracts to come back into for the session on the buy side. Coming into the golden pocket at the 706. Let's go ahead and adjust this to a deep retracement zone. 786 at 330, which also happens to be the point of control. Interesting confluence there. Point of control at 330, 786 retracement at 330. VWAP at 25. So do you see upside continuing, or do you see downside retracement? If we look into the pools here, we're coming back to the 50 SMA on the 16, which is now flat. Your 32 shifted to bullish, but this is easily changed if we start to reverse down beneath this 50 SMA. And you started to come back into my friend's oscillator here, and then you just started to come all the way back down as soon as that dot hit there. Interesting. Still unfamiliar with how to read it, so I'm not sure what I'm looking at 100%, but it's still pretty cool. Coming back to the cloud, getting a quantum time frame momentum dot in your favor to the upside for a split second there. Attempting to get back above this cloud, the baseline saying no, and the angle of the cloud also saying no. Let's go see. Switch to scalper mode. See if we can get a rev out to the downside here. So we have a potential here for this. We have to break beneath that 236 level, which is the basic impulse we bounced off of here. So until we negate this low, we're still potentially trying to bounce here, but it looks to me like it could be an inducement trap, as there is more liquidity down here which they have left untouched, particularly the lower lows here at 260 and the settlement line at 270. So to tell you what, we're going to do something here and just test out a theory really quick. Ooh, wow, that was nice and quick. Do we get a reaction off of the 786? If it starts to bounce back up here, we will close. But I'd like to see a reversal in retrace, unlike yesterday. So there's probably people that missed yesterday's upside that are still wishing they had it. So basically, let's go ahead. Ooh, nice rev out there. 40 ticks. We're breaking beneath the SMA here. This cloud on the 30-second and the 1 minute was what had me at hello. You want to see the cloud beneath your price action like yesterday when you want to see a long idea. So this retracement looks like a trap to me, which is why I took this as a short in retrospect. Okay, so we're going to move this to break even. Whoa, to reduce the risk. Wait, what? Why aren't you? Here we go. Break even. So do we break this and go accelerate to the downside beneath the 236 of the bearish trend base fib level? Or do we bounce at the 886 and negate my trade? That was up 80 ticks. That is the question. Looks like it's bouncing off the 886 right now. Oh no. We're just testing a theory right now. Should have taken some off the table there. Coming back to the VWAP and the point of control, you are negative 14 in sell side. You came back with the fury. Oop, stopped me out there. Bounced off the 32 SMA here. I'm trying to catch a bigger play today and not play the scalp game so much for the trade. So the theory was correct. Stopped at a break even. I don't know if you'd call that a win. The theory and the accuracy was pretty good. So if we look at the C wave, it was pretty decent, but coming back, wick whacking here. Do we take it again? Are we getting an 886 bounce? More likely not. We're coming back to retest this idea. 460 buy side induced here as they came out to the sell side. So if they come back and create a positive delta again, they could come back down. And here's where the bullish divergence starts. Alright, well, let's try it again then. Beneath the SMA. Let's try it again, shall we? Neutral on the 32 here. Starting to play off of some of the liquidity here on the your negative 200. You're generating some sell side here. 287, 300 sell side. So the longer you hold and generate sell side without going down, the further up you go off their potential corpse. Gotta hit this button either way. I don't like getting automated stopped and then messing with my ATM. So this is the amount we're willing to lose per trade. So we'll just, or per setup, so I can just exit manually and then re-enter if I don't like it. So we're holding technically the SMA here. Let's go ahead back to our cloud here. The cloud idea is thinning, and we basically invalidated this 786 level, so I'm going to delete this. And the only thing stopping us now is the 236 to the bearish trend base fib level. Can we go down some further? I'm seeing more downside personally. I would like to see the retracement occur. We're breaking the 4-minute cloud now with the cross down event intact on the 4-minute. I will trust the baselines on the 4-minute here and the cloud insinuating downside here. I'm going to go ahead and post this idea for me to review later as we enter into the hour here. Okay, and that's my story and I'm sticking to it. So let's go see again back into the contracts here. Contracts at negative sell side, but you got to start somewhere when you start to attack the sell side. So we had previously buy side imbalance, so coming back into these pools just makes sense to me. You have a lot of unequal low pools to take, pivot points at 279. We only just want a few hundred, like 100 so ticks. We'll see. The SMA has been holding this entire time, but you got the settlement line from today at 270 to come back and test. We tested it on Friday, we tested it on multiple times throughout the week. So coming back into this level just makes sense to me right now. The cloud and the momentum in my favor. So let's break that 236 and get some acceleration, shall we? Hourly candle closes in 3 minutes. And then you got that speaker event in 10 minutes thereafter. Who knows what they're going to say about the world events. We'll move the stop loss at that point. Shout out to everyone here, because it's where you'll always be, here and now. Can you break that 236? We got a solid bounce off of it. This is the attempt at drifting into it, perhaps. Let's go ahead and see the ATOS contract. So you got 160 induced there. You've just been steadily building some buys though too, to negate those sells. We're just hanging out at the VWAP and the point of control, potentially rejecting the point of control at 330 and the SMA on the 16 bar. And then if you accelerate through this, then we are kosher. as this trap could be inducing a dollar cost average trap to the longs trapped up here. ABC yourself to the downside perhaps. Would love to see it. We're here to see it. Have some of this water. And here we go. Hourly close. And there you go, to the downside. Break that 236. Yes, sir. Acceleration, please. Come on. Acceleration. 1,000 contracts reclaimed in sell side. Buys getting taken for a ride here.
Fatality.
We are not one of those poor souls right now. We are in the profitos. Rejecting that 650 SMA on the Renko and on the 16 bar. Break that 200, please. Come at least to 1 and then move my stop up automatically, please. Reward my ATM strategy, please. Coming down into 600 contracts in sell side here. Like to see that that acceleration into the math here. Come on, a little bit more. We'll just move it manually to break even at least in case something weird happens because of the news in 10 minutes. And we're just drifting right now, but it's starting to give these trend dots. And the trend dots, until you can get above these bearish trend dots, you're just basically drifting to the downside. I'd like to see acceleration off this 236 idea. We're drifting to the downside some more. Money flying away. That should have peeled out a contract there, not yet. Coming into some more sell side here as they made their intention clear to attack a zone which we are on the side of. This trend cloud on the break of the 1 minute and the 30-second had you at hello. Ignore all those fibs because the cloud was above you, not below you. The momentum was reversing above you and suppressing the price down. So you don't want to counter trend trade your indicator here. We learned that the hard way yesterday before we got on the right side of the trade. Okay, so 1,000 in contracts here. We're trying to test out a less scalpy strategy here and just like percolating on some thoughts and letting it sit until it hits a zone that we projected, because it tends to go in our theory anyway, right? All right, so locked in one. Good, good, good. And so it pays to wait, right? Could have gotten 2 contracts. You know, I could have entered twice, but I don't know what it's going to do, obviously. So that first one coming back to break even was technically theorized correctly. It was a win, but it stopped us out, whatever, break even. Does it accelerate further down, or is it going to stop out the 2 runners at 60? I'd like to see it continue further down if possible, but you could get a little bit of a bounce to stop out these people moving their stops into profit like myself. That's what these little bounces of the trend dots are. We can move it to the 236 at 17 manually. So the 16 level where we're at, I mean, it's kind of following it. And my friend's little indicator thing came beneath that band and then just straight up rejected entry and came lower. All right, so the attack on the sell side, which is the buyers, the longers, is underway. Currently 1,000 contracts in sell side imbalance now as the sells get hit, as the longs realize their longs are no longer viable, perhaps, as they reach into the low range here and into some fair value gaps down below. How's everyone doing? Good, good, good. Green, 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 green. It's gonna probably stop. It stopped out my runners there. 60 ticks. It's all good. A win is a win is a win. Boom. 112 for that so far on the day. Can't complain. Bullish divergence slightly, but not so much. Coming back above that 236 now. Just coming back into that. They just can't allow shorts to be right for long these days. So we're coming back to the VWAP and the point of control at 29, VWAP at 25. This is also happening to be this adaptive on the 1 minute here. 4 minute baseline still in your favor for that downside play, but we are flat right now. You had previously bearish divergence on the oscillator as we swept up to the highs here. I couldn't take this aggressive entry myself, but we are seeing this bearish divergence on the 30-second up at the top here and the overbought status, and it came down from there for that A wave. Then created this cloud shift, and then we saw this B wave and we started positioning into shorts for this leg down. The cloud still thick on the 30-second, the 1 minute now starting to turn as you come into the possibility of retracing lower. Once again, confirmation at that 236 level would be ideal for the move to be full. This is also what happens in this hour of power. They retrace into a fair value gap and then continue lower. So let's go ahead and see where some fair value gaps are. Let's get out of this mode and try to reposition into a potential go with the trend trade here. So on the 2 minute, do we have a fair value gap? We do have one. Not really. Everything was traded fairly thus far, so the attack is still underway. Rejecting off of that trend cloud on the 30-second. Now accelerating below the 236 perhaps. Can we just take the 236 for what it's worth? Let's try it. We entered another short here at the 236 to test our math and theory being correct thus far. We were 7 time frames overbought, so you were getting like 7s up in here. So I mean, 7 time frames overbought is a lot. Don't want to fight the 7 exhaustions. Who knows? Boom, 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 boom. Angle slightly shifting here on the 30-second. This is not accelerating to the lows as quickly as I hoped. Let's go ahead into the ATOS platform, see the contracts coming back above the 236. Would like to see it reject out the 236. That's where we entered for another short. Trying to trade with the momentum here. Momentum shifting in a manner, but starting to come back into some of this sell side imbalance perhaps. Can't discount it. Point of control at 29. Do we reject at that 29 level? VWAP at 25. We're beneath VWAP, beneath the point of control. Bearishly retesting it perhaps. Kind of reclaiming that the 50 SMA and the 200 here on the 16. The dot on my friend's oscillator starting to come back into the band. Hidden bearish right there, but not playing out just yet. Are you going to get a rejection of these channel average, the price channel average, and the adaptive here? Cloud is still pointing downside here on the 1 minute, and 4 minute starting to create indecision here. Closing in 51 seconds. If it does not close beneath the 236, I may consider closing it, as I do not want to take a full stop to the face on this. Starting to reclaim the cloud on the 30-second here. Retracing into some of that sell side, hitting the point of control at 29 and possibly rejecting, as we see the retrace potential down to the downside occur. Continuation rather. Need to see this break beneath the 236 for me to be happy about it. Thank you. And hold, please. Still 1,000 contracts sell side imbalance, but their intention to attack the sell side is known, so they may not be done. They went to positive 9,000 in buy side over the last few days, multiple days running, so going into that idea does not seem absurd at this point. The nuke from yesterday has given me conviction in the idea of a reversal. How's everyone doing out there? It's mighty quiet. Still indecision on the 4 minute. I'd like to see this turn more to the downside and become a thicker candle here on the 4 minute, this rather than reclaim this baseline for me to be happy about this short right now. The baseline starting to cross down, flash on the 30-second. 30-second also pointing down here. 1 minute at an angle of 4 o'clock, suggesting acceleration occur. Acceleration. Let's see it. Go sweep it. Sweep, sweep, sweep. How many more zones do we have to take here? We didn't even properly reclaim this one just yet. At 300. We haven't even hit 300 in a while. So come back to the 300 range perhaps. Just another bounce trap inducement for the longs to never see their entry again. We'll take them for a ride. If they want a dollar cost average to their demise, I don't mind. The trend is to the downside here, the bearish trend on the 16 bar. It's purple. So come down and sweep these lows for me, if you will. Let's see some acceleration, man. Don't be skittish about it. Oh yeah, we had those minutes. I guess that guy's talking now. So he was talking from 10. So we had the news at 10, and that was all she wrote, that little bounce. So maybe there's nothing being said of merit. I don't really pay attention to those wordsmiths anyway. And there we go, acceleration beneath the 236. We took a 236 entry this time, just trusting the bearish trend-based idea. Money flow above the RSI here, starting to come down. The money flow disparity between the RSI is one thing to look out for when you see it above the RSI, potentially suggesting the money flows out into the RSI level below. And conversely, starting to come back out, so that long trade would have been over there for this idea on that guy's oscillator. Shout out to David and his friend who made it. Coming back and sweeping this low here. I like to see it. Okay. Just getting these little bounces here and there. Just a lot of minis contracts, people. Let's go see what bounces they came into. So they came back into about 200, 300, 400, 500 in sell side, and then induced some 142 buys of longer, and then they're like, okay, we can take you lower. Not as intentional just yet. Still kind of sideways trading, to be honest with you. Should be in more of a scalper mode right now, if I'm being honest. This is why I generally have that default scalper mentality and miss out on the bigger plays, because there's a lot of times you give back stuff too, and then it comes back in your face. So it's like, when do you get that acceleration and continuation idea, and when does it come back in your face and then some? Starting to get some bullish divergence here on the 32nd, the higher low on the oscillator, lower low on the price action. And if you look at a toss here, still negative 1,000 contracts. They're just inducing more buys as they go. 142 buys, 166 buys. These things could be dollar cost average longs, hoping for that bounce, and then they're using that liquidity to trigger more sell side, and they're happy with the longs they're eating and or shorts that they're paying now because they're attacking the long positions. And so when you see these blues in here, that's a no-no for a long entry, because the more blue, the more they're going to be blue about it later. Perhaps. Footprint charts are an interesting little addition to the arsenal that I'm still trying to learn. Not seeing anything but indecision on the 4, 8, 12 minutes that this 4 minute has been doing its thing. One more minute for this to close. Indecision is generally when you don't want to be in a trade for that idea. So this chop, this idiot box that we're in, is not the ideal entry model, I would say. We already took our ticks, so if it does not accelerate in the next few minutes or so, or within the ticks that we're taking in a little bit here, then we might just close. We'll see. I still think the theory holds true. As long as that 236 holds. Can you hold for that bearish trend-based fib, or are you going to reclaim this cloud? Cloud on the 32nd. There you go. trash consolidation idiot box, just a little bit more into the longs here. Some suppression of that baseline on the 4 minute so far. Just a lot of algorithmic chop right now. Chop suey. Just wait it out. Angle on the 1 minute going sideways, starting to taper to a little bit here. Still thick. Still nothing to be worried about yet. Oof, acceleration to the upside, not the direction we hoped. We will not take a full stop on this. We will close it at the point of control if it goes even slightly above it. So that was some acceleration to the upside that is basically coming into this range here. Whoa, what is going on there? Oops. This range bound price action now coming up above this level. If it breaks this 330 region, I'm out. It's right now breaking that bearish super trend on the 30-second, coming to the cloud on the 1 minute. And I am done with it. It hasn't broken the structure yet. There hasn't been a market structure shift in this level. This range is just ranging. It needs to break above 330. It has not broken yet. Go above 330 and I'm gone. Do it. All right, you got me. Can't hold it though. What are you doing? Why aren't you holding the point of control? You got to hold the point of control. You don't kiss and reject the point of control. If you're strong, what are you doing? I thought you were strong. Why can't you hold the point of control? Just do it. Do it, man. Come on. You can do it. Go against me. Yeah, hit the point of control right now. Go for it. Hold it. Oh, it even lowered for you. It made the bar easier. Come on. I'm trying to talk a trade against me. Come on. You can do it. Yeah, there you go. Come on, man. Hold it. Come on, don't be scared. Hold it. Hold that point of control, man. Hold it. Hold it. Yeah, why aren't you holding it? I thought you were bullish, right? Come on, man. You're bullish, right? Nah, don't reject the point of control. Come on, you can do it. You can hold it. I believe in you. I really do. Come on, you can do it. The point of control even lowered for you. It even said, come on, you can do it, buddy. I'll lower a couple dollars for you. All right, so the cloud, and all humor aside, we're still in this range. The one thing to note is the bullish nature of the trend cloud. I'm not trying to play against this so much. We were bearish until we weren't, and now it is kind of shifting above this adaptive moving average, and I'm going to close this as it is now reclaiming the point of control. Let's see. Can you do it? It just keeps rejecting off of it though. The cloud, 30-second cloud. The indecision on the 4-minute is where it's starting to create a bull hammer here off the 236. That's where I'm going to think, what is going on here? What is it doing? And this 25 minutes into the hour. So we did enter slyly back into those bands and then came back above it here on that 16 bar. You holding this adaptive or what, buddy? You're now crossing down on the 30-second. 1 minute cloud now starting to hold potentially, but still purple. We did shift slightly above this range here on the 1 minute. On the 30-second, the candles are still holding in this range. It's still an idiot box. Could be establishing shorts here for that dollar cost average bounce to the downside. I'm still, oh, there you go. Cloud kiss. Does it bounce off this cloud here or accelerate through it like a hot knife through butter? What's it gonna do? Currently 1,000 contracts in sell side imbalance. Came back into about 500 buy side there. Took out some of those shorts that shorted the bottom here, and then they're coming back accelerating below. The bear trap looks to be the thing. Could not hold the point of control. Rejection off the point of control. Rejection off the 236. Acceleration back to the lows. Is the trap sprung or not? Come on. You broke the cloud. That's what I was not trying to play. We're still at break even now. You went all the way 70 ticks into my thing and you didn't come back. Like, you better make this thing do something, boy. Point of control rejection. Just coming back into some sell side here. These new cells accelerating in here. They're trying to see how many they're generating and sell people. Trying to get some buyers to enter by showing some support idea. His dot re-entering in the 16 bar. Coming back through on the 32. If this accelerates, then this could be like dot, 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 dot to the downside. So we're here for it. It already put us through what it was going to put us through. If it's going to break this 236, it better do it. Do it. Do it now. The 4 minute cloud is getting thin here. I mean, this 4 minute cloud is indecision, indecision, indecision. You've just seen 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 minutes of indecision since the hour. It hasn't really given us much of anything in this entry model. We're just looking at the 236 of a higher time frame retracement idea, and in conjunction with some baselines crossing down and the trend cloud coming. You had this liquidity grab to 600 contracts of buy side, and then now they're possibly coming back lower. The immediate action of that shows a potentially intentional spring of a trap being formed. We'd never know though. See, it had a chance. I was like, do it, and it couldn't do it. I gave it a chance to come get me. It didn't do it. What's up, David? DK, Donkey Kong. You watched the Mario movie with your kids yet? It's a decent, wholesome entertainment. You got strong female leads, you got strong male leads. You don't have any ideologies and that stuff in there. It's why it's one of the top 10 grossing animated films we're seeing, and why Universal Studios Japan is killing it over Disney. That was the best thing Universal could have done, have the Illumination team up with Nintendo. Oh my gosh, they're gonna just make hand over fist now, making all these Mario movies and stuff. I'm so tired of watching movies with like stupid narratives that don't need to be there. Just make the good old like hero's journey. That's all we want. That's all humanity has ever wanted, is a hero's journey. Don't try to reinvent the wheel, just tell us a good story, like Tolkien and all the others before them. Acceleration to the downside, let's go. Break it. You got traps, inducement traps galore, and now just, come on. Acceleration, please. Here's where you accelerate. Accelerate. Come get all this stuff. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You got the settlement line at 270. Ay caramba. So you got this bullish divergence that formed on the 1 minute. This money bag that played out, taking back the buy side contracts here. This consolidation is possible. Flip of positions here. Let's go see what the contracts brought in. The contracts still 1K in buy side. Coming back to the point of control, which keeps lowering. They keep lowering the point of control because it just can't seem to hold. So they keep coming back to the point of control and failing off of it, which is now down at the VWAP level. It was previously at 333 or something. So we're coming back to VWAP. And then revving down again, potentially. The cloud on the 30-second, lackluster, bearish retest. 1 minute angle is good, but this 4 minute, yeah, you're starting to cross up and hold the price here. Not really liking the short right now, to be honest. I'm gonna just, it's not really bringing that acceleration sauce. I shouldn't have been in this for as long as I have. 3 trades, it went in our favor and we didn't close it. So yeah, we might just take this as a 50-point give back from the previous 100 plus that we locked in, or whatever it was. $100+ or whatever it was. So it's just going sideways, gobbledygook here on the 16 bar. Let's go see what the 8 bar dragged in. Let's go to the 8 bar over here. 8 bar also trying to reclaim the super trend, and people playing this super trend sauce on the 8 bar. And it's just making lower lows, higher high, lower high, higher low. Yeah, just going and taking 200 in buy side like it's nothing, and then going back into the sell side at the point of control. This is why sometimes having breathable positions is good, but then you got to be able to like stomach it, you know, stomach the drawdown and stomach. So we're trying something different today. We're trying a little stomaching of the being wrong and letting it percolate in the wrong without having such a tight stop. We would have been able to take profits on a lot of these things, but we're trying out a different, larger view idea today. Seeing if we can catch some kind of trending, impulsive ideas. So we're starting to reclaim the cloud here on the 30-second and the 1 minute. I'm not really liking this for a short idea. Starting to get the baselines to cross up on the 4 minute here, insinuating the downside is over. So I'm going to close this as it reclaims the point of control here. And can it reclaim? I mean, I keep giving it a chance to reclaim it. I'm like ready to close, and then it just doesn't hold the point of control. It's like, come on, scare me out. What are you doing? Let me close it. Give me some strength, man. I thought you were strong, right? Why are you rejecting the point of control then? There we go. Or not, whatever. If you want to reject off it, that's cool too. If you want to keep range trading this range and establishing some accumulation distribution ideas and switching your position on the retail, possibly. 4 minute candle is definitely not where I would be like looking to short though. I'm already in it. I just want to be kicked out of my trade. That was the level I should have got out at. So to give you an idea here, let's just go what's going on here on the 5 minute. So the 5 minute time frame crossing down, cloud thinning on the 5 minute, and you previously had come up to a region here. Oh, I didn't even have this at the proper level, but whoops, should have been up here actually, but that's improper from where we played it. So that was the first impulse. So I'm playing the 236 as if it's genuine, but that was just from this level. We actually went up to here. So we went up to the equal highs. So this is not even a proper like trend-based fib level that I'm trying to play off of right now. So what the heck am I doing? I am looking for that inversion play though for a downside retracement into the pools because it makes sense right now, but this is not proper. I need to do a proper one. The proper one would come from the impulse here, the B wave that I'm doing here. So this one here, we go to trend-based fib, the impulse to the downside here, which is the local bottom here, the retrace up to here, and so this is your trend-based fib. So you go like this, impulse, retrace. That's as high as we got. So unless you can get above this level at 334, then you break this 236 on this trend-based fib. I'll just turn off the oscillator so you can see it clearly. This is your impulse retrace continuation thought pattern for how you draw this idea, and if we can close beneath 314, then you come into these pools below. If not, if you're finding support, which we have for these last 6 minutes, then this is basically creating the negation of that idea. And so until you can see some conviction below, you're not going to get this ABC to the downside here in this manner, A, B, C. So if you make a higher than this at 334, I'm basically out anyway. Yeah. And it's just going sideways, it's just creating chop, but it's basically above it, so we're not going to negate it, and there we go, we're knocked out. Sure you can, out of the trade. and then that gave us a little bit of a hit to the face there. And that was a instance of me, I had the wrong fib level from back here, and should have been looking at this fib here, and this initial impulse was correct. And now we're going to reassess, because this is obviously negated now. Whoa, 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 what did I delete then? Ah, that. So we made it above. So this is where we're accurate in our read of the cloud here, just to reassess where we were at and where we're going. Taking a chill pill now. So we were basically watching on the 30-second here how this cloud started to retrace down here. We caught this smooth move down here for 100 ticks plus, and then we were looking to see this break and retrace further down. Unfortunately, there was bullish divergence we ignored, and if we go to our other time frames here, there was other bullish divergence starting to form here on the 1 minute, and we were coming back above VWAP and the curvature of the cloud here, which I was ignoring as well. I kept saying, like, this is not good, I don't know why I'm still in this, and it was the need to be right, I guess, winning out over the idea of following what the momentum is saying. And the momentum was saying you're holding the cloud here, and then this was a key point on the oscillator here. So this was where the cloud reclaimed, the cloud started to shift, and you get that shift of the cloud and the crossover of the 4 minute, and you were seeing indecision, indecision, indecision. I was saying you should not be in the trade during indecision. Me trying to impose my will onto the charts without looking at the oscillators as a cold, static thing. Coming back to the 4 minute cloud here on the 4 minute chart, if we look at the 1 minute, just a lot of chop suey. So the scalp mode was the play here. I should have had the tighter idea in this range and taken what was given when the taking was takeable. This once again rewards the idea of scalper mode with the hope of potentially cascading, rather than just hope of cascade without actually taking things off the table. All right, so we're coming back to the 1 minute here. 1 minute cloud got a first kiss and bounce. The 4 minute is crossing up here. Let's go take a look at the oscillators on the inversion potential of the 16 bar here. Interesting. So we went up and hit it, and possibly revving out from that point on the 16. Let's go see if there's any fair value gaps that we missed while we were thinking about what we wanted to see. Let's go into the 2 minute. We're going to draw a retracement and extend those up here. Extend this to the top. Extend this to the bottom. And then go to the pocket. Even let's just do the equilibrium or shallow first. We already came to the 382. Let's go to the equilibrium. We haven't come back to that yet. And then we're going to the pocket perhaps. So this was your little micro shift in structure here. And you're back at the equilibrium of that shift, micro shift on the hour here. You are bearishly retesting the cloud here and coming into this. You did come back to equilibrium as well on the possibility of a short coming to fruition. You're back at the equilibrium of this little micro shift and the larger structure here. How's everyone doing out there? Hopefully good. Coming back to the 786, let's go ahead and turn this on and go to the 30, to our usually scheduled programs. So we came back to the equilibrium of this impulse, coming back to the 706 level. Of the retrace of this little microstructure shift here. Cloud on the 4-minute is above price action, not in congruence with the idea of being beneath it for long. If we look at the Renko charts, we are rejecting off of the 50 SMA, so you could be seeing that play we had hoped for the short after the liquidity grab. We are getting acceleration to the downside, perhaps. Stopped out there, close. Alright, so that was a win for what it was worth. We came back into the 886, negated this impulse. A lot of 786 players these days, maybe they're doctoring liquidity, engineering it, and bouncing off the 786 right now. Is the 786 the play here? Let's go see. Get some momentum to the upside here. We'll take it. We will take it! So we had 2 losses, and now we are at 5 trades, 3 wins. 2 losses, and the wins are outnumbering the loss, but that one full stop to the face was not kind. I think we clawed it back. Yes, we did. And yeah, let's go see what's going on with that idea. We took that surge up for what it was worth. It is what it is. Does it continue? we're going to remain here, this impulse to the 786 bounce level. We previously had a retracement to that equilibrium of this drop from the pre-market, or so coming back up to this level could be the thing to do. Okay. Back to scalp mode it is. Try to go in with the theory, and the theory comes to bite you. So back to we're just reading the momentum and just zoning in and just taking what's takeable. And if it runs without me, it runs without me. You can always re-enter and take that burst too. It's all good. So we took that for a little bit of a bounce. We're going to post that in general anyway. That was a 786 bounce. So we're just going to say like this. Boom, boom, boom. So that was what we were looking at. You had the cross up of the baselines here on the 4 minute. So let's just say what's going on. Coming back to the equilibrium, possibly into a golden pocket now. So let's switch it up to golden pocket idea. So now we're just moving and grooving with the flow. No more theorizing for today. We tried that experiment, it did not work. We did take this 100 plus tick move to the downside on the C wave here, using our cloud based idea here, the rejection of the cloud on B here. Okay, so that was cool. That was cool. Let's go see what the contracts are up to. Still 1,000 in buy side. Now, oh, you were previously sell side imbalance. Now you're positive buy side imbalance. So now you went into the buy side. So the shorts, some 274 contracts got bought there at that level as they popped some short account.
Fatality.
Another 309 buy side stopped out at 366. We can say that this has now gone deep into the retrace zone, so we could come all the way up to the 786 level here. We are about 7 minutes till the hour closes, and we bid you adieu. That could have been your retrace zone to continue higher. We never know. Money stack, stack, stack on the 30 seconds and the 1 minute. The oscillator didn't give us the bullish divergence, but it gave us back here for that first wave up and the retrace, and then the continuation off that 786. 786 for the win here today. This was likely the best move of the day. You had this small shift in structure. You broke the structure here. Small break of structure, retrace into the fair value gap created by the first wave, and then boom. That was the play, ladies and gentlemen. That was the hourly play right there. That was it. That was your low-hanging fruit. Hopefully you took it. 786 bounce for the win. And the hourly will close and bid you adieu in about 6 minutes here. Let's go see what the contracts have to say for themselves. So you have that 309 buy side taken up at the wick here at, what is that, 66? 366.
So now you're coming back. There's 2,000 buy side imbalance now as they came and gobbled up some shorts there. 2,000 contracts of buys in, some long, some pop shorts. And then also, just to note, you flipped the bear trend. This super trend on the 1 minute got flipped to bullish. We held it, and then boom. Interesting. Starting to reject off the 706 right now. Most likely coming to a trend dot for another surge up, perhaps. Kind of even Steven on the contracts for this 2 minute candle here. Not sure what it's doing. People peeling off their long profits, taking their one contract out or whatever, allowing them to drift higher. All right. Got that indecision in the cross-up event of the 4 minute here. You don't want to play against that. So my, need to try to will the market in my favor should have been in that flat state to catch these shifts. That was the key moment though. We did take it. We did twice and reclaimed that loss from the theorizing idea shift, which is why I will not do that anymore. This is why I did the scalping thing to begin with. There's people out there that just like to get bangers, and it's like they're fun to catch, but the whole like being wrong and then giving back stuff is just not really my cup of tea, I like to have it go in my favor immediately, and if not, then just close it, That's just me though. 7. This one was not the best. I don't know what I wasn't thinking actually. I was just entering off of what was I looking at? The cross down events and the being separated from the trend dot and just coming back to a trend dot. I mean, we're ultimately kind of bullish here, so I don't know why I did that. I'm probably going to just close this actually. I mean, I also saw, I'm just going to basically close this idea out. Okay, come on, just a little bit further and then just let me. All right. Two minutes for the hourly candle close. All right, I'm going to close this. I don't even know why I entered it, to be honest with you. Just looking at the 30-second cross down into the trend dot idea was all I was looking for, but yeah, not really much more than that. So we're out of this. No thank you. But yeah, I was looking for this retrace into the trend dots, and if you hold it and you're bullish, it's just going to come up into this 786. So we're not going to take that full stop. 10 ticks is all we'll give back for that. So that is 4 out of No, 3 out of 7. So 4 out of 7? Yeah, 3 out of 7, I think. Overall, I believe it is profitable. Yes, we are. 50 bucks across some accounts is not a bad thing. And the hourly is closed. And that's it. That was the low-hanging fruit play of the hour. All this chop consolidation, then you finally had a shift, broke the bearish super trend on the 1 minute, pulled back into that 786 retracement, and then you would have seen this bullish super trend hold, and boom, to that upside play. Small market micro shift. Now you're getting a nuke playing out as we come up here. What does it all mean? Do we get this rejection off the 786 here and then come back down again? Let's find out tomorrow, because I must bid you adieu here. There's no real pools here, so coming back up to this higher high level, hitting the 386 zone, possibly the fair value gap at 404. We will be doing it off stream though, so that is where we will bid you adieu, folks. And I thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same, bringing the fire, the accuracy, the precision, all that fun stuff, and we'll catch you